Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and if it's dawn somewhere on our planet, have a good night. My name is Shroda Aglago. Thank you for joining me on Love, Forgive, Live podcast. My goodness. Today's topic is very important because I've heard it over and over. Over. People ask this question so many times with a different topic, especially when something bad happens in our community, in our society. We immediately turn to that question. And the question is, I'm sure you've heard it before. How can you have peace when all you see is chaos in this world? Let me ask the question again. How can you have peace when all you see in this world is chaos? How is peace possible? This question is loaded, of course, because it's got so many things embedded in it. If you listen carefully, you will recognize the different layers in the question. Excuse me. And it strikes me every time I hear the question. It actually strikes a nerve in me. And I ask, how can peace not be possible? Especially in the midst of chaos. And in order for me to address this question, or try and tackle it as best as I can possibly tackle this, is to first speak of judgment. Because that helps in making sense as to how we will be able to see peace. Judgment has a whole lot to do with this. We have to pay attention and recognize what judgment truly is. This will allow us to break down this whole perception of chaos. You see, your judgment of the world being chaos or chaotic stems from the perception that you see the world through. Meaning, what lens do you see the world through? Let me explain that again. This judgment of seeing the world as chaotic stems from the lens in which you look through to the world in order to form your judgment. Because that lens will put everything in perspective for you. Oh, a little disclaimer. Today's podcast is being done somewhere in the country. I'm somewhere in the country. So I have birds chirping right outside my window. It is so sweet. I wake up with the windows open and I have birds chirping. I hear the crickets and it's beautiful. Just a side note. So in case you hear birds in the background, is because I'm doing it out in the country and it's beautiful out here. Yesterday I laid out on my bed and I just looked outside and I could see the stars, the beautiful half moon. I'm in love with this area. It's just beautiful. And all the greeneries and the tree. It's actually in Culpeper, Virginia. It's just incredible. Normally I don't give my location, but today I did. It took a while to get here, but it's a great place to come, relax, and just rest and refuel your energy with nature. Enough with that. Let me get back to the topic. I do get sidetracked sometimes. Some of you know me that I do this sometimes. I will veer off topic and I come back to what I'm talking about. So this is one of those moments I thought I should let you guys know before I continue. As I was saying, the lens in which you see the world through will determine or work with your judgment, or would flaw your judgment. Because as that gets done, you will begin to recognize that your perception is skewed. Provided you're able to pay attention and recognize the moment you're in and how that is directing what you see and what you seek and how you see it. So your judgment plays a big part of it. You judge your works as being chaotic because it is what you assume that something is not really there. You assume peace is not really there because all you're seeing is chaos. So that's all you will see. So how could you see peace being there? You will believe it's not there. It is what it is. That's how you'll see everything. You would see the world with tainted glasses or lenses in your life, because when you have chaos in your own inner world, that's where it is. When you have chaos in your own inner world, that alone will be what you hold to match what you're seeing in the world. You will literally attract that. You will literally go seeking that and match the chaos within you. And when you are creating and matching this chaos within you, you will see the world as chaotic and judge it that way. That is why it's very important to work on the inner world, work on yourself, and manage your own battles within you, and allow yourself to learn how to calm the chaos within you, the battleground within you. Because guess what? You've heard it said over and over and over again. The battleground in the world really is in your head. The battleground in your head is 10 times worse than all the physical worlds, shoot 'em up guns that are being used. But the battle in your head, whoo, that's something else. The strangest thing is, no matter what is going on, finding ways to tame that battle in your head, it's not going to be on the outside. It's all on the inside. It's all on the inside. So when you start making a judgment call and say the world is chaotic, first ask yourself, what is my battles? What chaos is within me? Assess that for yourself. Go within. Question that. Become real with that. And begin to speak to that and seek out what you need to do to heal that. Because as you work on healing that, something powerful begins to happen. You begin to start seeing peace because you begin to seek peace within you and see the peace around you. So as you see what is in your inner world, you will project that and you will start seeing peaceful situations. Things get resolved. Things become more peaceful. Understanding this is very important. Where chaos is, peace is needed. The reason why peace is so needed, and you're able to ask this question, how can there be peace when there's so much chaos in the world, is because you are seeking something different from within. As you have finally noticed there's chaos, you are yearning, seeking, crying out for difference, which is peace. Now you recognize the judgment is judging thyself and thy chaos. The judgment is coming from you, not the world. Not you judging the world, but it's what you judge yourself with. And recognizing this chaos within you is the beginning of your peace. Yes. Recognizing this chaos within you is the beginning of your peace. Why do I say this? Because that is when you start seeking, rushing, cultivating situations and opportunities for peace to be invited in. As peace becomes the main goal, not the chaos, not managing the chaos, not working with the chaos, not bargaining with the chaos, not negotiation. There's no good negotiation with chaos. Because guess what? In the end, chaos does not win. And you do not win. Rather, chaos keeps reinventing itself. So stop making sense of the chaos. Stop trying to unravel the chaos or create it in a way where it makes sense to you. It would never make sense to you because it was never your original state. Let's get that straight. Your original state is that peaceful, loving, calm being. I do not have any experience with a child being born where the child is just born with chaos. Child may be born when there's battles around them, physical battles around them, but the child is just at peace with themselves. That's your original state. Let's get that straight. That's why when you're in that chaos within you, your inner world, you are fighting so hard to seek peace. Because you've known it before. Guess what? If you don't know something, you would never know it. If you don't know, you don't know. Just like there are things in this world that I don't know. Until the time comes for me to learn it, I would never have a clue. I would never have any idea about it. That's how it is. But what I do know of what we were born with is your original state. Because you know it, you've tasted it before, and you have an idea about it, you want it. You want it. That's why it blows my mind when I hear people say this over and over and over. They don't deserve peace. They're not supposed to be peaceful. And peace is not made for them. How in the world? How in the world does an individual cultivate this perception and ideals and belief system? Ego will create these lies in order to maintain its place and its importance by maintaining the chaos. Then ego begins to recognize something deeper, but the being doesn't. That the chaos is necessary. It's not. It was not your original state, so how could it be necessary? How can it be necessary? It's not. You want and wish and pray for peace because that is your original state. You've tasted it before, you know how it's like, so now you want to go for it. Peace is attainable. Peace is real. Peace is on the inside. The same strength and power you use to hold on to all the chaos within you to create it, you have the same strength and power to seek the peace and have it, make it, create it, and become that peaceful being. There's nothing stopping you. Because you are believing in the peace and you want it, here's how you're going to try and do it. 1. Accept the fact that you were not born chaotic. The chaos you're seeing, the chaos you're believing and experiencing within you, it's not your original state. That's number 1. Number 2, understand one thing. The Creator never meant for you to live in that chaos in your inner world. I'll say it again. Understand that the Creator never meant for you to live in your inner world with that chaos. Ever heard of heaven on earth? The heaven on earth is within you. So how could chaos be the main thing? Number 3, believe peace is within you and begin to speak it out loud. I am peaceful. I have peace within me. I attract peace, and peace is my birthright. This is important. Don't ever forget this. This is important. This is how you begin to limit ego and its hold and its importance in your life. Once you surrender yourself to what peace is possible within you, recognize that ego is no longer important in you. Ego cannot have the final word because ego creates illusions and false hope, false identities, and false perceptions. Know the difference. Once you do these three things, begin to understand one thing. Nobody can give you, that's number 4. Nobody can give you peace unless you create it within yourself. It's not going to come from anybody, and nobody can take it away. Because guess what? Your mind belongs to you. Your heart belongs to you. It's inside of you. That's where it takes place. So how could somebody take it from you? How could somebody control it? The only way another can control it is you give your will and permission. Hear me on this. The only way you can claim truthfully that another has taken your peace, has taken your peace of mind, peace in your heart, and created peace, created chaos, is if you give it away, because it's inside of you. It's your head, it's in your brain, your mind, and in your heart. You would have to give permission for that to happen. You would have to allow it and relinquish your will. And that's not possible. But if you choose to, then it's what you created still. Understanding this concept is very important. Number 5. Always start your day asking yourself these 2 questions. This day that I've been given a present, a new day, to renew my perception. What choice am I going to make today? Am I going to choose to see chaos? Or am I going to choose to see peace? Know the difference, because guess what? In the long run, the bottom line is your choice. Choose. Choose what you want your day to be and how you make it. Because the decision starts with you. That's how you begin to see it. That's how you begin to create it. That's how you begin to feel it. That's how you begin to behave it. And number 6, take the time to connect to divinity, to connect to a higher power, to connect with the Creator. Some say Father, some say God. Some say Yahweh. Understand this. Commit to a higher power. And ask for guidance to begin to see and create peace in your heart and in your mind. Then, relinquish all the pain. Relinquish all the judgment. Relinquish all the chaotic thought process. Yes, the chaotic thought process that creates it and keeps maintaining it. And ego just loves to aid that. Relinquish that to the one who has the capability, the understanding, the information, and the facts to judge the world. And the one who can take it and knows what to do with it, because I don't know what to do with it. But I know how to make myself have the peace. So shall you. Relinquish that. Let it go. And begin to start anew the day with the peace. As you begin to do these things, what is going to happen is a miracle. What will begin to happen is a miracle. The strangest thing is you will begin to have people who know you come close to you and say you're different. It's beautiful. You're different. Some people will say you're glowing. Some will say something is different about you. You're smiling more. Some will come to you and say, what's going on? And those who have been there will notice and say, I know how that looks like. It's good to be this free, isn't it? It's good to have no chaos dictate your day, your life. Because the chaos is minuscule. Just a minuscule little thing that doesn't matter anymore. But your peace, that's stronger than anything. That's more than anything and better than anything you could ever imagine. Chaos will no longer make you believe the world is. Rather, you will begin to see peace. Ask for peace. Create peace and become peaceful. You would exude peace everywhere you go. And even those who don't know you will begin to tell you, well, there's so much peace about you. There's something peaceful about you. It's beautiful. When you begin to walk in that light and understand that you have peace and you see the world with peace, you see peace in the world. You seek that because that will become your focus. That will become your focus. This is how ego loses its grip on you. And it creates a sense of freedom. Freedom in your mind, in your heart. And that can never be taken away. That can never be changed. That can never be manipulated or given or taken. It's yours. You have the strength and the power to create it within you. Do it. Do what was given to you at birth. And only you can recreate it and have it within you. Anytime you hear that question, how could there be peace in this world that's so chaotic? Do me a favor, please. Stop and ask yourself again. How is this question affecting me on the inside. So now when you perceive the world to be at peace, then you understand that you've experienced the peace, and that peace is possible. It is easier to recognize peace than it is to focus on chaos. Peace is gentler, sweeter, kinder. It changes your whole perception of your own outlook. And you stand as a peaceful being that attracts peace. And all you do, peace is the byproduct. Nothing ever fails. Now you recognize that judgment has no business with you, because all you're seeking is peace, and that's it. Nothing else. Creating that makes your inner world free, bustling with joy and peace, not to mention love. Your way of being is beautiful. So you learn to stand stronger and more at ease. Because as you do so, your relationships begin to change. That's the other thing that I notice about peace. Ooh. When you have peace within you and in your inner world, your relationships begin to change. Those who know the peace will recognize it. Those who understand the peace will recognize it within you. And when they come to you, they literally check themselves to become more peaceful around you. That's the power of peace. Allows everyone that recognizes peace and has peace to galvanize together to form a stronger bond of peace. You know, I watched this documentary on the water experiment, or on Your Words Have Power. It's on YouTube. You can go and look for it. And a researcher or a scientist in Japan, Dr. Yasumoto, if I've got the name wrong, forgive me. And Dr. Yasumoto took water and placed them in a petri dish. He spoke, I think, for 30 days or for a very long period. He has several petri dishes with the water, and one he spoke love into. Another he spoke peace. Another he spoke forgiveness. With another petri dish, he said to it every day, to all these petri dish, I hate you. Another petri dish, he said, you disgust me. He was just being very, very vulgar. And I think there was one petri dish, he just ignored it, didn't put anything, time and energy, anything in it at all. After leaving them there in a petri dish for several days, and speaking to it. I forgot whether it was 30 days or not, but it was a few days. And then he took the petri dish or petri dish, depending on where you are in the world and your accent, you will use whatever. So then he took this petri dish or petri dish and put it in a cryogenic chamber and froze it. And when he froze them, he brought the petri dish out and looked at them under the microscope. Mind-blowing. What he saw was unbelievable. The dish with love had beautiful ice crystals. The dish with peace, oh my gosh, beautiful connected ice crystals that built up. They built up, and it's incredible. Beautiful. The petri dish with forgiveness, another beautiful piece. But the petri dish that hate was spoken into looked like something you wouldn't want. It looked dirty, muddy, just ugly. And the dish that was completely ignored was just black. And I looked at this whole thing and I was like astounded. Chaos sucks the life energy out of you. Chaos in your inner world will create more of that chaos around you. He breathes nothing. So why do we allow our ego to maintain this chaos? That chaos in your inner world will look just as ugly as that petri dish. Because guess what? As human beings, you are made, I think, 75% water. Yes. And if your inner world is disturbed and chaotic, it will look just like the one in the petri dish. Ugly and muddy. That's the inner world chaos. And strangely enough, the peace just looked beautiful. That's what I was saying. When you have that peace within you, everybody recognizes it. They see it. It spreads out because it's beautiful. And others who have that recognize you. Stay peaceful. Stay connected to your original self. Stay connected to understanding that the peace is within you, that heaven is within you. It's not outside or somewhere you need to go to exit this world before you go there. You can begin to create it in your heart, in your inner mind, by choosing. That. By choosing that, you begin to create it. You don't need to know how that's going to be done. But the mere fact that you choose it will begin to create it in you, give you the abilities you need to see more and more and more of that, and have that joy. That's the thing, that joy, that lively joy, that peace, that the laugh and the freedom within your heart. And you know the strangest thing? When that happens, you actually begin to love yourself. That's the best part. That's the best part. You begin to love yourself. And as you do, you begin to love everybody around you. You begin to attract love. So work on your inner world. Work on that. Because it trickles into the beauty that's within you. Have that. Nobody can take it away from you. And that love, there's nothing more powerful than that energy. Nothing. Become this peaceful being. It's not difficult. You can do this. You can have it. You can create it. You can be it. Understand that you are more than enough and you can make this and you deserve it and you have it. My brothers and sisters, thank you for joining me in learning more and more and more about how to create peace in our inner world. On this podcast, the goal or the aim is to empower, inspire, motivate, and of course, share the life lessons I am learning. And when I use the life lessons with my client, because my day job is marriage and family therapist, counselor, life coach, and even I do parent coaching, a lot of parent coaching actually. So become this being. And it's strange, when I do this in sessions with clients, you can literally see the chaos dropping. That's the beauty. You can see the chaos dropping and their shoulders drop. You see all the chips are falling, all the stuff falling. And the shift happens and they begin to see that peace is possible and they can have it. I hope you begin your journey of creating the peace within you and standing on that and growing in that. Thank you. I'll see you next week. My name is Sroda Aglago. Thank you for joining me on Love, Forgive, Live podcast. Have an amazing week. Bye. Love you.